Hi, everybody. I'm Ross the Boss, and I want to talk sports with you, cowboy. God, it's been a crazy sports week. We got NBA basketball, we had tennis, we had soccer, we had the home run derby, we have, you name it, they're playing it. We're even talking fantasy football now. People are getting ready for the draft. So if you guys want to ask me questions, go right to the chat, ask me a question. I'll be happy to answer it. Any sport. I love fantasy baseball. We're halfway through. We're halfway through the season. So this is the time you have to have your team ready and set because playoffs are 6 weeks away in fantasy baseball. So you better be ready. You better be ready, everybody. So let's start off with what else I'm going to talk about is the USA Olympic team. That's what everyone's talking about right now. The basketball team. They lost their second straight in a row. They've never done that before. They played Australia. Granted, Australia has some good players. More than half their team's NBA players. So let's not fool. They're not these guys that never played before. They're good players. But the USA team has Durant, Lillard, Green. They're stacked. I don't know if they're not trying, not motivated, just don't want to be there, don't feel like they want to represent the country. I don't know, and I don't really care. But what I do care about is we have 3 more expedition games. Don't count, don't matter, doesn't mean anything. So who cares, right? But what I am concerned about is our first game's against France. France has a few NBA players, and our second game is against Iran. If we lose to Iran in basketball, that will be the biggest upset ever in sports history. You heard it from me first, Ross the Boss. I really don't see us losing to Iran, but it would be something else if they did. I would not be happy. But don't get freaked out, USA. It's not a big deal. These games don't count. I know we all want to win everything. Our coach is Popovich. I don't know what he's saying to the team. I don't know what's going on. I know we're missing a couple of guys. I know Booker's going to play. I know for sure he's going to play, and I think also I think one of the Bucks is going to play too. I'm not quite sure which one, but I think Middleton is playing on the USA team. But that all being said, I'm excited for the Olympics. We'll talk about that later. The other subject I want to talk about, which I'm watching, which my second favorite team is the Phoenix Suns, and I'm rooting for Chris Paul. I want him to win the championship, but wow, the Milwaukee looked good the other night. The Greek Freak, Giannis, he was unbelievable. I don't know how you stop him. You can't stop him in the middle. They have no answer. Anton is trying to guard Lopez. He can't guard both guys. But basically they got to put a stop to the Greek Freak. But the problem is, Anton's going to get fouled. He'll get in foul trouble. He'll get 6 fouls within 2 quarters. So I think the matchups are really hurting Phoenix right now. Anton got in foul trouble. Then Frank the Tank came in, Frank Kaminsky, and he did not look good. He could not guard Greek Freak. So that all being said, it's going to be a 2-2 series after tomorrow. They play tomorrow in Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee's going to win that game. Sure, should be 2-2 going back to Phoenix. So that all being said, it should be a great series. Ask me questions about it. I'll be happy to answer them. I took Phoenix in 6. Now I think it's going to be Phoenix in 7. Who knows if Phoenix is going to win it. But I love watching the NBA Finals. I know all your teams that you root for are not in it, but doesn't matter. You can still watch the finals. It's still something fun to watch. And I love watching Booker. He was horrible last game. Horrible. He was 3 for 16 with threes or something. It was just horrendous. Chris Paul wasn't playing that great. Hopefully Phoenix maybe they'll win tomorrow. I don't know. They can't play any worse than they did the other night. So that all being said, I am excited for tomorrow night. So make sure you watch. We can talk about it. Ask me a question about it. I'll tell you to bet. I don't know if you guys watched this, but last night we had the home run hitting derby. It was greatly. It's in Colorado. We were expecting the ball to fly, which is kind of cool. What they did was when the player batted, the balls they used, the player actually autographed each ball. So when the fans caught it in the stands, it had the autograph of the player that hit the ball. That's pretty cool. That's a nice little touch, MLB. Congratulations. You actually came up with a good idea for once. But, Alonso, no surprise. And you know why he won? playing in that altitude, you get huffy and puffy. You're high up there. If you're not used to the altitude, you can't breathe. It's hard for you to catch your breath. Alonso even said, I love coming to Denver in Colorado, during the off season. I train here, I fish, I love to do all the activities up in the mountains. And so he was used to this altitude. Him being used to it, he wasn't huffing and puffing in the final round. I saw Mancini I saw Ohtani. Oh my, he couldn't even breathe after like one round. He didn't know what was going on. And it was unbelievable. But the thing was, Alonso was just too good, and, he had the picture that threw for him looked like he was like 90 years old. I looked him up. He's a Mets coach, and he's like only 64. But he looks so old, like when you saw him from behind. I don't know why, it just made me laugh. I don't know. I was just watching it, thinking, like, how old is this guy? I looked him up. He's 64. We're just not old. But congratulations, Alonso. And the funny thing about Alonso, and you guys can comment about this, he only makes like $800,000 a year. So the past 2 times he's won the home running contest, he makes more money on the home running contest in one day than he makes the whole year playing Major League Baseball. I mean, that's going to change. His contract's due up this year, so don't worry about him. We don't have to start a fund or anything. Don't worry about Pete Alonso. He'll have money. But I thought it was kind of funny that he wins $1 million, and that's actually more money than he makes the whole year in Major League Baseball. But it's good things happen to good people. But there you go. Congratulations, Pete Alonso. I'm going to do something now. I'm not going to answer questions quite yet. I want to go through Ross's news. What I do is I go to a website, I look at all the current events, and I comment about them in sports. First event, 76ers engaged in Ben Simmons trade talks with multiple teams. Ben Simmons is actually Australian, and he opted out for the Olympics. He did not want to play. I guess it had to do with his free throw shooting that happened in the playoffs, probably part of it. But he's taking the summer off. He wants to work on his game a little bit, which is good. Ben Simmons likes to play point guard. I don't feel he's a point guard. I really don't. I feel he's more of like a 2 guard. I just don't feel he's like a guy that can run the point that great, but that's my opinion. But he loves playing point guard. He's 6'7". He's a big guy. But it'd be interesting if he gets traded. They talked about it last season. Nothing happened. We'll see. I like Ben Simmons. Manfred, who's the commissioner of Major League Baseball, 7-inning doubleheaders, extra innings runner likely dropped in 2022. I hate the runner at second base in extra innings. I hate that rule. I just think it's weak. That's my opinion. I like when the games go 17, 18, 19 innings. I love that. It's great. And yes, doubleheaders should be 9 innings. They shouldn't cut the games to, 3 innings each game because somebody has to get home early. I don't care. I'm a purist here with baseball. I enjoy all the rules, everything staying the same. When the record's broken, the record's really broken. It's not modified. You know what I mean? That's Ross the Ball's talking to you. But yes, that would be great if they changed it back for once. A good job. Roger Federer withdraws from the Olympics after injury setback. I know Roger has a bad knee. He hurt it in Wimbledon. I love Roger Federer. He'll be 40 this year. He's still one of the best in the game. I do have to give a shout out to Djokovic. I mean, if he wins the U.S. Open, which he's favored, obviously. Now, I don't think Nadal is going to play in it. I don't know if Federer's even going to play in it, but we'll see. Djokovic will be he'll win the Grand Slam. He'll win every event this year in the Grand Slam in tennis. And he'll be the all-time winner of Grand Slams ever, like the GOAT, like the 21. He'll be the most ever won. And the crazy thing about this is no one talks about this at all with tennis, is that we have like 3 of the greatest tennis players playing in the same time period. We have Nadal, we have Djokovic, and we have Federer. They're all different ages. Nadal's in the middle. The youngest is Djokovic. And I mentioned Federer's almost 40. But these 3 guys, I mean, all 3 of them have an argument about being the greatest of all time. I mean, they're all like close with Grand Slams. They're unbelievable players. I mean, you name it, they've done it. You don't really hear much about it. But I think Djokovic, being the youngest, he'll be the greatest player of all time. He'll have the most wins in Grand Slams, and he'll probably have the most money ever made also. I mean, he's unbelievable. But he'll probably win the Olympics too, so we call that a gold Grand Slam. Get it? Because he wins a gold medal. I just made that up. let's see some other news that's going on here. I'm skipping a few things. I don't think you guys care about that. Nah, who cares about that? It's like golf news. Who cares? As we saw, the Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup. Congratulations, 2 years in a row. Ross the Bros predicted at the beginning of the year. I like Tampa Bay getting into it. They already dented the cup, which made me laugh. Huge parties. They'll be partying for the next 2 months. Um, Yesterday was just torrential downpour during the parade. They had a boat parade. It was just raining like crazy. Drinking, crazy, jumping around. It was great. It was fun to watch. Congratulations, Tampa Bay. Um, so McGregor. I don't know if anybody watched the McGregor fight. He lost. He was getting beat. Then he broke his ankle in the first round. I think the time has come. I think McGregor, maybe there's one more payday there, but I think he should retire. I mean, the guy talks a huge game. He's fun to watch. He's great for the sport. I'm not saying that, but I just think with this new injury with the ankle, I don't know if you saw it, but it was pretty bad. I mean, you can see pictures online. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And then also let's talk about, let's see what else is going on. I'm just checking around here. We talked about the USA getting killed. No, they didn't get killed. We lost. The other story in the home running contest is Trey Mancini. He had cancer last year. I mean, he had to go to the cancer treatment, and thank God everything's okay. He's playing again. He's having a great year, and he went to the finals in the home running contest. I mean, he did unbelievable. I mean, that's a great story. I mean, the guy had cancer, goes in the home running contest, not predicted to win. He comes in second, which is still great. And he's having a great. He's an all-star. I mean, he's having a great year also on top of it. He's having a great season. So, Trey Mancini, congratulations to you. Another trade that's in the block that I read about, not on this thing, but on something else, is Damian Lillard might be going over to Golden State. They're putting a big offer in for Damian Lillard, Golden State. They're putting a big, it's going to be like first round picks. It's going to be a couple of their players. It's going to be a big deal. Golden State wants to come back. They want another star with Curry, which makes sense. Curry and Lillard on the same team? I mean, and you got Klay Thompson coming back. That's a lot of basketball. It's a lot of threes. And God, I guess I'll talk about it. The 3-pointers are killing basketball. I mean, you watch a game and, I mean, for example, Nigeria shot 63 pointers against Team USA the other night. 60. I mean, do you even have like a inside game? Is there any like plan to do like any pick and rolls or anything? I mean, 63s. And I blame Europe on that. European basketball is a lot of 3-pointers. That's what they love to shoot. I just think it's ridiculous with the 3-pointers right now. It's not even fun to watch. You know, it's like Trae Young just shoots from half court. I mean, you know, and all these guys get paid to do rebounds now. I mean, the inside guys. I mean, there's no plays to go to so-and-so on the Atlanta Hawks, Collins, let's say. I mean, the only points he gets is off rebounds. I mean, you know, they're shooting like crazy from 3-pointers. Every team's doing it. It's like, it's laziness in my end. That's what Ross the Boss thinks. Laziness is the 3-pointers. But hopefully maybe the game will change a little bit. I like when they had like inside games. Remember the old days with like Kareem and like all those old centers, like they would like even Shaq. I mean, they were plays that these guys were designed to get the ball inside, and they don't do that anymore. It's just pop here, give me the ball, I'm open for 3, boom, you know, whatever. Okay, well that's Ross the Boss. Sorry, a little tangent there, went a little crazy, not my fault. All-Star game tonight, real quick. Ohtani's going to be the starting pitcher for the American League. And after he pitches, he'll be moving to right field. He's leading off also. So you're in the All-Star game. You're in the home running contest. You also are leading off. You're the starting pitcher, which I don't know if he deserved to be the starting pitcher. His ERA is over 3. He's been getting rocked a little bit. I mean, he's having a good year. I mean, again, he says a lot more strikeouts than innings pitched. I get it. But there's a few other guys I like that I thought deserved it, but that's me. I like Lance Lynn. There's a few other guys that I thought were having better years, but it's fine. I'm fine with Otani. 33 home runs. um, I don't know if he can hit 60. I mean, he's on the pace for like 65 home runs. I mean, it's unbelievable. And the ball does fly further in the heat, and it's going to get hotter in August and September. So, and they bring up all those young pitchers in September, so you get a lot of balls they hit. Um, I don't know. I mean, MVP right now, Otani gets my vote. National League, Tatis of San Diego. You heard it from me, Ross the Boss. Uh, but let's see. Let's see a couple more news stuff that's going on. I love talking about the news. Um, just Suns, McGregor, boring. Freak to Freak, 41 points the other night. I said how great he did. Unstoppable. They have no answer for him, the Suns. MLB draft is still going on. Nothing news rocking there. Jack Leiter's son, number 2 pick overall, Vanderbilt. He should be good. He should be pitching Major League Baseball by September. They were smart. I would bring him up. He's that good. European soccer I watched over the weekend. If anybody watched European soccer, I watched Italy. They played England. Went to penalty kicks. It was unbelievable. It was great. It's fun to watch those European soccer games. I love the World Cup. I love the European soccer. I love the Latin America Championship. Argentina, Brazil was on Saturday. That was great too. Argentina won. I love watching soccer. I can't watch MLS. I don't know why. Don't get mad at me. I can't watch MLS. I can't even watch like USA play. I mean, I watched USA play Haiti. Haiti is as big as like LA County. I mean, I don't know how the USA can only beat Haiti 1-0. I mean, think about it. You've got a country like the USA, millions and millions of people. Then you got Haiti. That's, I don't want to say it's a third world country, but it's not like a striving country right now. It's not doing that great. I mean, it's doing better. I don't get any word about them. I don't know what I'm talking about. I know I know it's getting better in Haiti. So please. But what I'm saying is Haiti only lost 1-0 to the USA. We're lucky in the Olympics. You know why? Soccer, you have to be 23 and under. So you're not going to see all the great players from around the world playing in the Olympics in soccer. And the USA has like a great, like younger team. I mean, they're like, I think they won like 19 and unders, like one recently, some big thing. So that all being said, the USA actually has a shot. I mean, women's team, it could be any age, but for the men's team, they keep it under 23, which I do enjoy watching the Olympics. We'll talk about it a little bit. I think I'm going to get to my questions now. Do you guys want to hear some of the questions people want me to answer? I'm going to go to the questions. We got some great questions. Casey Scheinfold, flat to the bone. Casey Scheinfold, what first half stars are bound to be in disappointment in the second half? That's Casey Scheinfold, huge Yankee fan. My number one that comes to mind, Case, is Adam Frazier, plays the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's hitting like 330. It's not a home run. There's like a few home runs here and there and some solo bases, but he's not going to hit 330 for the year, Casey Scheinfold. I don't see it. I think Otani's not going to be hitting 660 home runs. I think he'll die down if I had a guess. I'm trying to think who else I think will be a big disappointment this year. I know a lot of big disappointments, but I know guys that are not doing that great that I feel will pick it up. Like Mookie Betts, I feel is going to pick it up this year. He started off really slow. He started picking it up the past 2 weeks, and I feel he'll get better. Cody Bellinger will get a lot better this year. You'll see a lot of improvement out of him. I don't want to talk that negative about certain players. I think Nelson Cruz will die down a little bit. I think age will get to him. We'll see what happens with Nelson Cruz from Minnesota. He's having a good year. I love Matt Olson. I hope he keeps it up. He's like 20 something home runs. He's hitting like 280, 290. I hope Olson keeps it up. Stats say he won't, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I have Matt Olson on my fantasy team. So there you go, Case. But my number one guy is Adam Frazier, just because he's like 2 hits a night. I mean, he's like, I thought he was a streamer, I call it a streaker, but he's like been doing the whole season. I mean, the guy's like unbelievable. Uh, this guy's been great, uh, unbelievable, but he'll die down. Is Kyle Schwarber going to be the June Kyle Schwarber of April or May? Kyle Schwarber when he's coming back. So what Casey's talking about, Kyle Schwarber hurt his hamstring really bad. No, his calf, excuse me. He's not. There's no timetable. It's that bad. So they have no idea when the guy's coming back. If that's your question. The question to me is, he was on like an unbelievable tear for like 3 weeks. I mean, he was hitting like I think we talked about it a few weeks ago, but he had a home run like every night for like 3 weeks. I mean, unbelievable. Um, and before that, he was like doing nothing. So I don't know. I mean, Kyle Schwarber is probably one of the biggest streaky hitters in the league. I can't predict that. I have him on my IL on one of my leagues just in case. I don't know if he'll be back. I don't know when he'll be back. But if you have any room in your IL for Kyle Schwarber, it's a good pickup, especially during the summer when the ball kind of flies a little further. The season started with no hitters every week. He's right, 6 no hitters so far this season. Since the crackdown of sticky substance, yep, they seem to have stopped completely. What is your rant about this? That's a good question. I mean, Garrett Cole actually pitched a complete game shutout recently, right before the All-Star break. And he was like being questioned about the substances and he would never answer it straight. Like he felt like maybe, he was using it. I don't know. He was never like proven guilty. So don't think I know something, but the way he was answering the question wasn't really like he was not doing it. But again, I feel it was just a streak. I think there was a pattern there. I think that they were using some stuff and they weren't checking and the ball was spinning a lot better and it was a lot harder to get hits. And I feel that, yes, I do feel the crackdown helped a lot with pitching. Still the league batting average is 240 or 238, something horrible. I don't know why it's so low. We do talk about it. It comes out tomorrow. We have Sean Casey on the show. He comes out to his episode premieres tomorrow. So make sure you watch. We talk about with Sean Casey, who actually was an All-Star 3 times and played for my Cincinnati Reds right here. And, I can't see it, but, we do talk about it. I feel that some of the pitchers were cheating and I think they completely stopped except Santiago who got caught. I don't know how you get caught when you're warned, like saying, listen, don't put anything illegal in your glove, on your hat, anywhere. And this idiot, he decides to put it in his glove still. I mean, and he's a veteran. It's not like a young guy. He's in his 32, I want to say, or something like that. I mean, it's like what are you doing? I mean, they're checking your glove. They already said when you come off the mound, we're looking at your glove, and they looked at the glove, and he had something illegal in there. You said it was suntan lotion. I don't know what it was, but he was suspended for 10 days, and there you go. I mean, that just made no sense. I'm an idiot. So when Trout gets back, assuming Ohtani stays healthy, can the Angels make a run to the postseason? No. I love the Angels. My favorite team in the American League are the Angels. I've been to many Angel games. I've been to playoff games. I've interviewed many Angels, but they have no pitching, Casey. They really don't. It's a shame. They put their money in bats like Rodon and all these bats, and then they signed like no pitching. I mean, they decided to go with a few average pitchers here and there, but no ace. You tell me who the ace is on the Angels. It's not Haney. It's not Bundy. It's not. I guess Ohtani is their ace. And, I think Ohtani's a good 2 pitcher. I don't think he's an ace, but that's my opinion. But no, the Angels will not. They're a 500 team. They're not a bad team, but they're just not going to make a run. I think Houston's very tough. They have hitting, pitching, they have everything. Houston's going to be tough, except they don't have a trash can going on during the game. And Boston has the best record in the American League. So there you go. So we'll see what happens. But Houston's going to be tough in the West. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Who are your top 3 quarterbacks? Oh, good. Fantasy football starting. And if you're watching this, if you want to join our fantasy football league, join it. It's MFSN Fantasy All-Stars. It's on Yahoo. And we're only accepting a few people, but I'm saying it once on this show, so I know you're watching. So go to Yahoo Sports, go to football, search for MFSN Fantasy All Stars, I think it is, and you can join. There's only a few spots open, so you can go against me. You can go against Casey Vlad of the Bone Scheinfeld, excuse me, and Dr. Dan Ratner. You can go against us and try to beat us. The draft's August 12th, so make sure you do that quickly. First come, first serve. Top 3 quarterbacks. I have some Aaron Rodgers news talking about quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers was interviewed recently, and he says in the next couple of weeks he's going to straighten out everything that's going on with his offseason stuff. So that's going to affect my top 3 quarterbacks. So that being said, I'm going with number 1, Pat Mahomes. Number 2, Aaron Rodgers, just because last year he was league MVP and he was like 50 touchdown passes. It was unbelievable. And I think he'll be back. I don't see him sitting around like playing the host of Jeopardy or something. He'll be back playing for the Green Bay Packers. And number 3, I'm going to say he played a great second half. And I know I'm probably get some arguments from people, but that's what I like to do. I like Lamar Jackson as number 3, just because he's like one of these, he can run, he can pass. He loves to run, actually. And they try to make him like a quarterback that would just sit in the pocket quarterback, they call it. And he's not a pocket quarterback. Don't try to make a guy a pocket quarterback when he's not. It's not going to work. Tom Brady's a pocket quarterback, okay? Kirk Cousins is a pocket quarterback. Lamar Jackson is not a pocket quarterback. When you take away, we put him in the pocket and he's not running, forget it. He's not the same quarterback. So Lamar Jackson's my number 3. So those are my top 3. Mahomes, there's a pretty big gap, Casey Scheinfeld, between those 3, with Mahomes being on top. I mean, he's the for sure number 1, and he does not have any bad games. I think he had one bad game like in his whole career. I looked it up last year, and it was like the stats are unbelievable. So we'll talk football. We'll talk quarterbacks. I got a lot of sleepers going on. Which rookie wide receiver with the biggest fantasy impact? LeVar Chase of LSU. Not because I'm a Bengals fan, but part of it. He's with Burrows. Them together when they were in college, they were unbelievable. I think Chase is unbelievable. He'll have a great year, and that team has like a 3-headed dragon with Boyd, Chase, and T. Higgins. Unbelievable in Cincinnati. They're going to have some really good. Burrows is going to be a high rated. I have Burrows in my top 10. Don't laugh at me. I think he'll have a great season if he stays healthy. And the Bengals did improve their lines, so watch out. Watch out. Is Saquon Barkley going to be successful coming back from injury? He better be. If he's not back, the Giants will be there'll be 4 wins. So I think Barkley's going to have 1,400 yards. He'll be leading the team probably in receptions also. Maybe we'll see. But when I remember he was drafted, they said, okay, this guy's in the Hall of Fame. Let's make his statue right now for the Hall of Fame. I mean, that's how good he was. Then he got injured, and he got injured again. And now he's coming back from injury. And the Giants, I like Daniel Jones. I do like the Giants team. I think they're missing a running back. I think Barkley, if he's healthy, will be good. I just don't know how he's going to stay healthy. But hopefully he will. I mean, I will draft him in the first round if he's available. We'll see what happens. Lamar Jackson or Kyrie Murray. I mentioned this. I like Lamar Jackson better, but I do like Kyrie Murray. He has AJ Green. He has he also has unbelievable new weapons now. I mean, AJ Green just signed with the team. I mean, that's a huge Western. JJ Watt is playing defense for the Cardinals now. So the Cardinals have a revitalized team, and Hopkins, I mean, they have a good team. I mean, they got Connor, who's coming over from Pittsburgh to run the ball a little bit. I know Drake left. He went to the Raiders. But that all being said, Kyrie Murray is the real deal. I don't feel he's consistent. For me, I'm not a huge fan just because there's weeks that go by where he's not a great or even a good fantasy quarterback. He's like average. I don't want that on my team. I want a guy that's great every week. So that's me. Tua or Daniel Jones. I like Tua just because I like. They have Waddle now. They got Waddle from Alabama. They drafted him. They have Parker. They have some good weapons in Miami. I feel Miami is going to be a team on the move, and they have a great defense. So watch out. Tennessee Titans have the best wide receiver running back trio in the league. I disagree, but with the addition of Julio Jones and AJ Brown and Derrick Henry, I mean, it is good. You're right. I mean, Derrick Henry is not an all three down back. He's if it's third down, he comes out. You know how many receptions he has in 2020? He only had 19 receptions. You know how many McCaffrey have when he's healthy? Over 100. So there's a difference. He plays all three downs, but again, he's a great back. I feel Tennessee has a good team. They're strong. How about this trio? Casey Shinefold, Pat Mahomes. Okay, you got probably the best running back, the best receiver in the league, and Tyreek Hill. You definitely have the best tight end in the league, in Kelsey, right? Casey Shinefold. So those three guys are number ones in all three of their positions. And then they have the sophomore running back coming back from LSU, Hare, whatever his name is. Forgot his name, but it's three names. He's not bad. He's not an all-pro guy, but he's good. But I rather have Kelsey, Hill, and Mahomes. That's the best trio in football. Sorry, Case. Is this the year Tom Brady finally shows his age? No, Tom Brady's a freak. I don't know how he does it. What are the Bucs' chances in the finals? 50-50. If they win Wednesday, the Bucs have a good shot to win the championship, just because they can't stop Greek Freak. They can't. And unless they have an answer, or somebody's going to walk into the locker room that we don't know about, that's a major fault for them. What are your favorite summer Olympic events? The Olympics are coming up. I'm excited. I love the Olympics. I used to stay up late and watch them live when they were like in Europe or in Russia. I used to love watching when they were in LA. I used to go to a bunch of the events. I used to try to go as many as I can. I used to like to show up, and they would sell tickets like at the box office. It was great. My favorite events is either track and field. I love that. I love watching the world's fastest person, either men or women. I love gymnastics, men and women. I love them both. I think it's great. And I want to say basketball, but it's really not. I just feel like the Olympic basketball is a little different than the NBA. And I don't know. I just don't, I don't enjoy watching Olympic style basketball, but I will enjoy, another sport that I love to watch during the Summer Olympics is I love watching like the women's field hockey and all the obscure sports like cycling and all the other stuff that I never watch. I watch the Olympics, and it's kind of fun. So the Olympics, it's going to be fun. It starts right after the NBA finals. So I think July 24th or 22nd. If you were being an Olympian, what event would you compete in? I was all league, all state shot putter. So I have to say shot put. But if I trained enough, I probably could do basketball. I can make the Olympic team in basketball for sure. For sure, if I took hormones and became a female eligible, I think I could be in the women's softball team too. But I would have to take drugs for like a year for me to be eligible. Don't get me started on that. A New Zealand weightlifter decided to go on female hormones, and basically now he's eligible for the Olympics. It's going to ruin him. It's going to ruin, again, I don't want any letters, but I'm just telling you my 2 cents. It's going to ruin women's sports if they keep doing this. I mean, all these women who train their whole lives to be in the Olympics, or even to compete in whatever they want to compete in, now they have to compete against men. And there is an advantage if you're born a male and you decide that you're not in the male gender anymore and you want to become a female, which is fine. Nothing against that. They should have either their own category, or they should not be allowed to compete against women. I just feel it's going to ruin women's sports. I mean, all seriously. I mean, it's going to be all these records are going to get shattered. I mean, it's you can't change my opinion either. Don't, well, that guy doesn't know what he's talking. Yeah, I do know what I'm talking about. And trust me, it's going to ruin sports, women's sports. Do you think Mike Trout will get reinsured when he comes back this year? Mike Trout's best baseball player in baseball. Anytime I talk to anybody that knows sports or plays in the Major League Baseball, Mike Trout's the first name they say. He he's unbelievable. I mean, he really is. I mean, 3 MVPs. He has like all these all-star appearances. I mean, before he got hurt, he's hitting like 330 or something like that, and 8 home runs. I mean, the guy is he's only 29. He'll be 30 this year. He'll be 30 in August, I think. August, when's his birthday? August 7th. Let's see if I'm right. But I do feel that Mike Trout is he's great. I mean, anytime I have a chance to draft in fantasy baseball, he is my number one pick. So you can't change that from me. I still pick him. I don't care. Who's that fantasy baseball rookie of the year so far? I'll give you a couple. I like Trevor Rogers of Miami. He's having a great season. He's a pitcher. And Jonathan India of the Reds. He's my rookie. I like those. I like those two guys a lot. In the American League, it's weird. I feel the American League. If I had to go with one, I think there's a few guys that I like. I would probably go with. That's a good question. I want to get back to that. I'm not quite sure who I like in the American League as rookie of the year. There's a few guys I like a lot, but nobody really like just jumps to me. This guy's unbelievable. Having a great. I would probably say Adonis Garcia. He plays for the Texas Rangers. He's hitting 270, 22 home runs as a rookie for Texas. He died down a little bit. That's I'm kind of skeptical. He's not like hitting the ball as much as he was hitting like last month. But he's the I mean, 22 home runs, 270, and he has like 12 stolen bases. He's the rookie of the year for the American League so far. So there you go. Those are my picks for the American League, and hope you agree with me. If you don't, you're an idiot. Which team has the most useful fantasy players? I know that's a trick question, but if I had to pick a team who has the most fantasy impact, that's a good question. I would say in the American League, I would probably go with Houston or Houston I like a lot, and also I like Boston. They have unbelievable hitters this year. Boston, they're doing great, and they're killing the ball. In the National League, the Dodgers I thought were stacked, but now they're losing pitchers like crazy, and they're also people on the DL the whole year. They're having injury problems. And in the National League, I would say I would go with San Diego. I mean, I think they have like two aces. They have a good their reliever is leading the league in saves. Lacombe. I mean, I would pick the Padres, and they have Tatis, who I think is the MVP so far in the National League. I know people say DeGrom. He's having a great year. He's Cy Young for sure. I mean, there's no point. But it's so hard to win the MVP as a pitcher. I feel Tatis is having a great season with 28 home runs, I think, and 69 runs scored. I mean, unbelievable. I was reading his stats a couple days ago. It was just, this guy's a monster. But that's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I'm never wrong. Which team has the most? Okay, if you could dominate in pitching or hitting more, which would you choose and why? That's a great question. You try to stay balanced in fantasy sports. You try to have some good pitching. I feel it's easier to find good pitching during the season. I feel there's always guys that come up in the minors, that come to Major League Baseball and have a great first year. I don't know why, but I just feel that it's easier to find some treasures in pitching compared to hitters that are treasures. There are treasures. I mean, but they're more streamers and there's more, they're not consistent enough. But vice versa, you want to have a balanced team. And that's what I try to do. I try to have a couple good pitchers. You try to have a couple great hitters, and then the rest you try to scramble around, get streamers, get streakers, get whatever you can. But that all being said, that's why fantasy baseball, you gotta be glued to your computer every day. There's no explanation. You have to be on your computer every day. You can't like, I'll check it next week. You're not going to win your league if you check it next week. There's no way. You got to be every day. You should go on and see who's doing what, who got waived, what trade's happening. What do you need? What's your weakness on your team? I mean, I even during the All-Star break, I even made some waiver moves. I picked up a few players here and there just because, you want to mix it up a little bit. You want to change it up and get bored of the same guys. trying to find some more questions here. Is DK Metcalf the next great wide receiver in NFL? DK Metcalf. Did you guys watch? You probably didn't. I was the only idiot who watched it. You guys watched the celebrity softball game last night after the home running contest on ESPN? So DK Metcalf was on one of the teams. He batted first. He's built like Adonis. I mean, he's unbelievable. This guy's built like he's like a Greek god. He's huge. He's 6'4", big guy. He said he's never played softball before, never played baseball before, and he agreed to play in the celebrity tournament, the celebrity softball tournament. Not tournament, softball game. I play in a lot of softball tournaments. That's why I'm saying tournament all the time. I'm sorry, but I'm a softball player. And let me ask you a question. He came up twice, struck out swinging both times. If you had the opportunity to play in this game, wouldn't you okay, I never played baseball or softball before. I'm known to be a great athlete. Maybe I should go to the batting cages, or maybe I would hire a batting coach to help me bat during my first appearance on ESPN as a softball player, instead of embarrassing myself and striking out twice, and you're an NFL player, athlete, and you're supposed to be one of the best athletes in the world. That's embarrassing. And that's something that will be highlighted the rest of his life. He'll be on blooper shows. When he's on a talk show, they'll bring it up. They'll show, hey, you're a pretty good softball player. Let's take a look. And, I think he made an error in the field. I mean, I don't understand why these celebrities go out there and they just go out there without preparing. If you're an actor, you prepare for the role, correct? Some of these actors out there, obviously they didn't prepare at all. They can't throw, they can't field, they can't hit. But for some reason, they think it's entertaining as a fan to watch you play in these celebrity softball games, even though if you strike out to who was pitching was like some rapper guy with like dreadlocks was like pitching. It was like, easy toss. It was like unbelievable. It was like, I was watching it just like, why are you that? Like, you prepare to play football, right? Every day you prepare. You're in the weight room. You're running sprints. You're in the track. You're catching passes. You're doing everything you can. Why can't you prepare to be in the celebrity softball game, especially if it's on national television? I don't know. DK Metcalf. So because of that, no, he's not one of the best receivers. Absolutely not. I'd rather have Tyreek Hill. He's faster. He'll have more yards because he has Mahomes. Russell Wilson, he's up and down with throwing the ball. He's not Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. And if you get the opportunity to draft anybody on that team, especially the three I mentioned earlier, Kelsey, Hill, or Mahomes, you do it. I don't think you'll have the opportunity to draft two of them on your team. I don't think that's going to happen. If it does happen, do it immediately. I try to do that every year, and people are too smart now. I can't get two of the studs on my same team with the Chiefs. I did it 1 year, a couple years ago, but it's never going to happen again. But I'm Ross the Boss. Trying to find out some other stuff. I got more questions here. Why on the earth are you so convinced Chris Sale will get no wins this year? I don't know. It's something. It's just like a proposition bet I just did to myself, and I said on the air a few months ago, and you guys took offense to it, which I keep saying it just to make you guys crazy. I still don't think Chris Sale is going to have a major league win this year. I feel I feel that his arm's done, his career's over with, and that's Ross the Boss. I don't think Chris Sale is going to be a factor in Major League Baseball this year. I think he's a year away. I think he has to do more rehab. I don't think he's ready to pitch in Major League Baseball situations. He had a major injury. He's coming back way too early. And Chris Sale, to me, he'll come back and he'll get rocked. That's Ross the Boss. I'm telling you the truth. If you can't handle the truth, leave. Goodbye. Sam Jacobowitz. Hey, man, how are you? Good to see you. I hope you heard the news about our fantasy football league. You better join. We want you up there. And you're not going to have all these players like you mentioned that you have on our show. Like you have like the top players in every position. There's no way. You're not going to do that in our league, Sam Jacobowitz. You're going to have to draft and pick your team, and you're going against the best fantasy players in the world. So good luck, Sam Jacobowitz, against us. You're not going to get like, I forgot who was on your team, but it was like a all pro team, every position. It's not happening. But MFSN, Fantasy All-Star, that's our league in Yahoo. Sam, you better join. Be great to see you there. Trying to find some more questions. No one else is really typing. So I'm going to go back. Oh, here's one. Is Chris Paul the greatest point guard of the past 30 years? That's a great question. If I had to, I mean, people say Steph Curry. I like Steph a lot. Chris Paul is a top 10 point guard of all time. I would say that for sure. People in point guards, people have Magic Johnson as you know, has Magic Johnson as one. I like John Stockton. I love Chris Paul. I love Steph Curry. There's a lot of good point guards out there. You know, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some too, but those are my favorites. But Magic is for sure number one. I know he's 6'9", 6'10", but you know, again, I feel that Magic Johnson is the number one point guard ever in the NBA. And he can play different positions. If you remember, he can play center, forward, you name it, he can do it. But I'm hoping Chris Paul wins a championship. Hopefully I'm right. We'll see what happens. I did say the Suns in 6. Big game tomorrow. I'm Ross the Boss. I love talking sports with you, everybody. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Keep watching. Ozzie Smith is coming on next week, so make sure you watch. I'm Ross the Boss, and I love talking sports with you, cowboy.
Oh, yeah. From Kill Cliff, the number one clean energy drink in the mind of Joe Rogan, comes the Flamin' Joe. Sugar-free, B vitamins, electrolytes, all them good drink things. An epic spicy pineapple fusion from out of this world, straight into your drink hole. Own it. Kill Cliff.